August 1985. Deep in the Kanto mountain range, investigators are standing in the smoking ruins of Japan Airlines Flight 113. 520 people are dead. The tail of the airplane is completely missing. In the 1980s, an era plagued by hijackings, the initial hypothesis is immediate terrorism. A bomb took out the tail. To prove it, forensics teams hunt for the four corners of the aircraft. They find the aft pressure bulkhead, the heavy umbrella-shaped dome that separates the pressurized passenger cabin from the unpressurized tail. If a bomb exploded, the metal would show a violent, jagged, sawtooth pattern, but the bulkhead doesn't have it. Instead, investigators find a smoking gun hidden in plain sight. One section of the metal dome didn't tear. It sheared off in a perfectly straight line, right along a row of rivets. But there's a massive problem. Local Japanese police locked down the site, treating it as a criminal investigation. They refused to let Boeing engineers move the wreckage to a metallurgy lab. Faced with a logistical wall, investigators pull off a stroke of forensic genius. Using high-grade adhesive tape, they take microscopic mirror image imprints of the fractured metal right there on the mountainside. When those tape replicas are placed under a microscope, the truth is undeniable. The impressions reveal microscopic ridges called striations. Every time an airplane takes off and lands, the cabin pressurizes and expands like a balloon. These striations are the physical footprints of metal fatigue. The metal was slowly tearing itself apart, flight after flight. The forensic trail leads investigators 7 years into the past. In 1978, this exact 747 suffered a severe tail strike landing in Osaka. The bottom half of the pressure bulkhead was crushed. Boeing engineers designed a structural fix. Splice a new lower plate to the upper half, using a continuous metal connector secured by 3 rows of rivets. But the mechanics on the floor made a fatal deviation. To make the part fit, they cut the splice plate into 2 separate pieces. Because of that cut, the critical narrow section was held by only a single row of rivets. The repair dropped the bulkhead to just 70% of its required structural strength. A single row of rivets was now holding the entire structural load of a jumbo jet. NTSB and Boeing mathematicians run the numbers on the flawed repair. The math yields a terrifyingly precise prediction. This single row of rivets will suffer catastrophic fatigue failure after roughly 11,000 pressurization cycles. Tragically, since that 1978 repair, JAL Flight 123 had logged exactly 12,319 cycles. It was flying on borrowed time. On August 12th, the bulkhead finally shatters. The first explosion heard on the black box isn't a bomb. It's the sound of cabin air explosively bursting into the tail. The second explosion is the tail fin ripping completely off the fuselage. As the tail shears away, it severs all 4 hydraulic lines running through the bulkhead. The pilots are left entirely paralyzed, trapped in a terrifying, unrecoverable roller coaster motion. This technical autopsy closed the case. The deadliest single aircraft crash in history wasn't caused by a terrorist's bomb. It was caused by a microscopic crack, a misinterpreted repair, and a single line of rivets that failed to hold the line between a routine flight and absolute disaster.